Hey everybody, welcome back again. Nice to have you back. Today I wanted to discuss a little bit between the differences between vegetable tanned leather and chrome tanned leather. There's a lot of kind of misconceptions out there about the difference between the two products. Isn't leather just leather? What's the difference? Is one better than the other? Is one more durable? Which one is best for me to get? So I thought I would just kind of share what the differences are with you, and let you kind of make up your own mind as to what kind of leather that you prefer to use or want to purchase and carry with you. So we've got some chrome tanned leather here. These are all chrome tanned leathers, and these are vegetable tanned leathers. And a lot of times people would remark to me and say, I've got this piece of leather, and it just doesn't look like, a high quality piece of leather should after a while. It just kind of looks kind of raggy, kind of, ragged, not beautiful, just kind of, just kind of there. Chrome tanned leather is the process of chrome tanning. There's a difference between the two processes. And just to go over some of what the differences are, we'll also answer why some leathers look the way they do, why vegetable tanned leathers look different than chrome tanned leathers. One of the complaints that people have with chrome tanned leather is that you cannot get a kind of a burnished edge on chrome tanned leather. And this is cowhide and this is cowhide, and you're saying, well, how come this leather here you can get a beautiful, beautiful burnished, wonderful, silky smooth edge, but you can't on chrome tanned leather? What's the difference? Well, the difference is when you tan using chromium, the chemicals used are designed to penetrate the hide rapidly. And so they kind of eat their way into the hide. And in the process of doing that, yes, it is quick. You can tan leather quickly that way. But you lose some of the components of the leather. Those chemicals go in and eat away some of the constituents of the leather and dissolve them out. And you end up with a type of leather that is kind of porous. It's kind of, if you looked at it through a microscope, it'd be kind of like a cross section of a sponge. There's open areas in there that used to contain part of the hide that have been dissolved out. And so what some companies do when they chrome tan leather is afterwards they will hot stuff it with oils and greases and waxes and try to replenish some of the constituents that were removed through the tanning process, and that makes a pretty nice product. Some companies don't, or do very minimal replenishing of the greases, the natural greases and oils and waxes. And so because those components are missing, you can sit there and burnish this all day long, and you are just not going to get a nice finished edge to it, because there's the components of the leather that lend themselves to burnishing are gone. They're missing. So you can sit there all day long, and basically what you'll do when you burnish a piece of leather is you apply beeswax to it or some other products, and then you burnish it with either a cloth or a buffing, like a piece of wood, or a buffing wheel that has like a wood buffer on it, and you just buff it smooth, and you end up with this very, very beautiful, nice finish like this. Okay, as opposed to just kind of the raw edge here. So if you were to take this and put it on a buffing wheel and buff it and buff it and buff it with waxes and gum and whatever you wanted to use, you just kind of eat away the leather. You would just eventually just start chewing away at it. Whereas with vegetable tanned leather, you get a very nice finish to it. So the chromium process in tanning leather removes some of the essential components or constituents that make up the leather, and you can either choose to replenish them or you can leave them out, like these leathers here. So you'll never get a nice edge. You end up with a piece of leather that has kind of a synthetic feel to it, kind of a paper, kind of a cardboard kind of feel to it, whereas the vegetable tan leathers will have a very soft feel, a soft hand to it, a nice, dense, compact feel to it, kind of like a saddle versus a leather jacket. So that's what can happen when you use chrome to tan your leather. Vegetable tan leather is done with natural tannins a lot of times, which would be leaves and twigs and bark and other constituents to the tanning liquor that slowly works its way into the leather. It's a slow process. It's not a rapid process. This takes weeks, sometimes months, to veg tan leather, and you end up with a really nice, beautiful product that ages beautifully. This chromium tan leather does not, in my opinion, doesn't age that nicely. It eventually loses all of its internal structure and the leather becomes very, very floppity. If you had a bag, it couldn't hold up on its own. It would just kind of flop over. And so you break down all of those internal structures in the chrome tan leather after a while by repeatedly using it and moving it, and they just break, and there's no supporting structure left in there. It's been eaten away by the tanning process, so there's no internal structure left inside the leather to give it any body or any structure anymore. It just becomes very, very floppity and just doesn't have any kind of rigidity anymore, whereas the vegetable tan leather will maintain that for most of its life, for years. You can even go back 100 years and find vegetable tan leather that still has a lot of its internal structure and can still be used. There are saddles that are 150 years old that are used on a daily basis. As long as you take care of it and replenish those oils once in a while, it should last you literally for decades. Okay, so vegetable tan leather, if it's not dyed, it comes in kind of a raw color like this, which is my personal preference because the more you use this, it takes on the oils from your skin and from touching it, and eventually it gets darker and darker and darker to the point where it just becomes kind of a cognac colored and will even become a dark honey color after a while. So this is a veg tan leather. There's your nice beautiful edge, beautiful nice firm feel. The other thing about vegetable tan leather is that it squeaks. Okay, so you go, just like a saddle, it squeaks, and that's because of the finish that's on it. It's a natural finish, but it's so dense and so closed that it's tight that it actually will rub on the other surfaces and give you that beautiful leather squeak. Chrome tan leather just won't do that. There's the components that were in the hide originally are now gone, and you will just never ever get that saddle squeak in some chrome tanned leather. So just wanted to go over that with you, the differences between chrome tanned and veg tanned. You're going to decide what you like best. Chrome tanned leather is generally less expensive than vegetable tanned leather. Vegetable tanned leather generally takes longer to construct and finish off beautifully. This pile here, nobody had to buff the edges or finish the edges. That was not even a step in the process of making these. But in the process of making these, someone took a lot of time to buff these edges and burnish them beautifully. You do need to take care of vegetable tanned leather with mink oil or neat's foot oil and apply that once in a while. You can with chrome tanned leather. It doesn't do much to it other than darken it a little bit. It doesn't really, it's not good enough hand application to put those oils and waxes and greases back into the leather. So it'll always kind of have that spongy kind of paper or cardboard kind of feel to it. Eventually gets very, very floppy. This will pretty much maintain this rigidity for a long time compared to the chrome tanned leather. So my preference, I love vegetable tanned leather for small leather goods and bags. Chrome tanned leather, if I need something that's larger and I don't want all the expense, I will use chrome tanned leather for that. You wouldn't use vegetable tanned leather for garments, for clothing. In some cases you can, but in most cases it's going to be chrome tanned, and a big, bomber jacket or something like that can get very, very expensive depending on the kind of leather that it's made from. And this would be, because of the nature how it breaks down and becomes very, very soft. If you're going to cover furniture, you're going to cover furniture with chrome tanned leather. You're not going to cover furniture, a couch, with veg tanned leather. You're going to use chrome tanned. That's the kind of difference in expense in it. So there's my little synopsis on veg tanned versus chrome tanned. Is one better than the other? The jury's out on that, although I love the feel, the look, and the durability of vegetable tanned over chrome tanned leather. That's just my personal preference. But you be the judge and you make up your own mind. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.